Continuing our beginning rounds in Halam Sharal.
Well met, your worship.
There's Charter. And a note on how to behave oneself at the Winter Palace to all of our people. This is our kind of little headquarters. We can see that there's a lot of codexes here. I really, really wish that when I had remade this character, I had not stuck the 2 after her name so that I knew which one it was. I forgot just how many times you see your character's name written out in this game. That's enough for right here. That's all the little codexes for the moment. We're gonna head over here, see what's hiding over here, and... what's this? Oh, another chapter of Hard and Hightown. Head back down into this little grove area where we see a very enamored couple. Very enamored.
Same old.
We'll have to come back here for our quest a little bit later, but for the moment, there's a dog bone here. And a book right behind me, which is another Hard and Hightown. The same two doors that you can open during the Winter Palace story arc, you can still get into here. You don't get a ton, but you can run through here. Over here we have a codex that references Talana, although not by name, Meriden's lover, saying that there was another mage. And another doggy bone. However, you can't get into this one, presumably because some random person during a ball broke the lock when they broke in. Gosh, I don't know who that could have been. And if we run back up here, we will find another doggy treat right over here. Come on, there you go. And then down at the end, we're going to have another chapter of Hard in Hightown. So now we're going to jump down because, as we've already established many times, I'm too lazy to take the stairs. I want to believe that oh my was because I just jumped down. I really do. We run up here, where we have our opportunity to catch up with Josephine.
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence. But the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Then why can I still see those wheels turning in your head?
Work carries a certain momentum. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
I do wish you'd warned me the game would take more work after Halam Shiral.
It's strange. Those were somehow simpler times. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Why not? Josephine, I put myself in your capable hands.
Splendid! I will arrange things at once. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
That was... one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Truly.
That part with the glittery... and they actually set fire to... Yes, I truly enjoyed it.
Then I call tonight a great success. Oh, look! The encore signal! I do hope you recovered from your night at the opera. Any ear-ringing should go away in a day or two. It is good to see you.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
I've never heard of a fancy spa serving elves.
You are the Inquisitor, darling. Savior of the Empire. They won't turn you away.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. How are things with our dear Commander Cullen?
I would never kiss and tell, Vivienne. You know that.
Merely expressing concern for your well-being, my dear. Someone ought to.
You must be keeping very busy.
Someone has to keep the mess that's been made of Thaddeus's institutions of magic from flying apart. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
Now we're gonna follow up with my favorite, Cullen.
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog.
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
I never expected you to make friends at a political council. How times have changed.
So they have. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Still, I've found certainty in my life now. The Council won't change that. Marry me.
What?
I mean, will you... I had a plan, and there wasn't a dog, but you were... it doesn't matter. I've thought of little else, and I don't need a plan. Only to know if you would.
I would. Cullen, I will.
What is it?
Reciting vows to the Maker. That means nothing to me. But I know you.
I want your promise to be true.
People will notice the Inquisitor marrying her commander in the middle of the Exalted Council.
It won't go over well. We know a few people who can keep things secret. Just know, everything feels like it was worth fighting for.
Always so serious. Just focus here.
What happens now?
I make a promise. Solas inaste var aravel. Lama. Aralas mirlath. Belanaris. And then you.
Oh, right. I swear unto the Maker and the Holy Andraste to love this woman the rest of my days. There you are. I just realized I'm greeting my wife. I rather like this. It's good to see you.
And now the purpose of the doggy treats. For every doggy treat you put in the basket, you get an additional point to your constitution. And if we run back over to the gazebo where we got married, we just see a funny little sign. In order to speak to Liliana and Dorian, you have to speak to the two ambassadors. They're kind of being held hostage. Kind of.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course not, Inquisitor. I was catching up with Redcliffe's Arl. He's here to represent Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I had hoped to steal a moment of the Divine's time.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Many are frightened of the Inquisition's power, but I will do all I can to allay their fears.
When world powers want to discuss plans for the future, I get nervous.
Good. Someone should keep you on your toes. We don't want you to get bored, Inquisitor. I have much to do, but let me say this. I may no longer be your spy master, but I am always here if you require.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
The Inquisition has grown. I can see how its presence might cause concern.
Then you understand why we must demand a reduction of your military forces. A power without allegiance to either Ferelden or Orlais? Even I see neither of our countries can let it rest. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
More Dougie treats and another chapter up here in our little gazebo thing. There's probably a fancy word for this. I don't know what it is.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
Everything changes. People, most of all.
Yes. Now all I see are hands rubbed raw to make gold gleam, tears shed in the night over silk embroidery. Others overlook them and forget their pain, but I am divine and I cannot be blind. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
I'd fear anyone with our Vault of Secrets, wouldn't you?
It is not our secrets, nor our soldiers. There have always been spy masters and private armies. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. The Inquisition's time is coming to an end.
Is that the decree of Her Perfection Divine Victoria? That the Inquisition be dissolved?
As divine, it is my duty to think of Thedas and all our peoples. We set out to restore peace, and now peace is upon us. You and I have come so far through the darkness together. It is time for us both to live in the light. But whatever you decide, I will be honored to stand beside you. I'll be right here if you need anything.
Up here is Dorian.
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
Thrilled to be at the Exalted Council, Lord Parvis.
Oh, riveted. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is the good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
Here are some Caprice coins. Really can't do anything with them, but there they are. Here is Dorian, the last of our companions we need to catch up with.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tama never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. For good, this time.
You know I'll miss you.
Naturally. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
So you'll truly be a Magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, my friend. I won't be entirely without support. Maeveris has gathered other Magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
You don't have to go back, Dorian. You put it behind you, you still could.
Give up a golden opportunity for martyrdom? Perish the thought. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... Magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are my dearest friend. Perhaps my only friend. That will never change, no matter where we are. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back. Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Fereldans completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave on. I can't believe it's been so long.
Around 2 years.
That's it? 2 years? Sweet merciful maker, it felt like 10. That could have been all the wine. Only thing back home I really missed.
That's all for now. We will continue next time when we start up the Exalted Council.